Okay. All right. Welcome back to another episode of Cardinal Craze Cardination. I'm your host, John, today. Today on the show, we have Popeye Williams coming out of an undisclosed location somewhere in Indiana. Popeye, how you doing?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing all right. Thanks for joining us on the show today. Really appreciate you coming out and talking to Card Nation and Cardinal Craze about what's going on in your life, how your visit was, and just talk a little bit about some football.
Yes, sir.
All right. So, Popeye, you recently went on your visit, not this past weekend, but the weekend before that.
Mhm.
Let's kind of dive into that real fast and talk about how that went. So, what was your overall experience at Cardinal Stadium?
My overall experience at Cardinal Stadium was amazing. They took us on I want to say the party deck or something like that. I forget what it's called. It's like the party
Yeah.
decks where you can see everything, and it was just amazing just seeing the stadium, looking down into the stadium, seeing how big it really is. And just imagine myself playing on that field, and also with other recruits and families, just seeing them how excited they were to see that. It was just great seeing the stadium.
Well, I'm glad that you were on the party deck and you enjoyed seeing the stadium where you're going to play in the future.
Mhm.
So, you had actually Caleb Johnson with you, your other commit, who you talk to pretty frequently, correct?
Mhm. Correct.
Now, what was it like meeting him in person for the first time?
Oh, it was amazing. It was great. Getting to meet him in person, getting to meet his family in person. Our families really bonded to very well together. We bonded very well together. And just seeing him in person really made me excited because I was like, we chat all the time over the phone, and it's just like seeing him in person, like this is gonna be my quarterback in the next year. And it's just very exciting to see him in person.
Well, that's great. Do you guys play any video games together in your off time or
Yeah,
just oh you do? What do you like to
yeah.
play?
We played actually on our visit. We played Madden against each other. Not to brag or anything,
Oh,
but I won. He had the Buccaneers and I had Cleveland Browns.
oh, okay. So you guys didn't want to play as Lamar Jackson, the unsung, well, the hero of Louisville.
Right, right.
So let me ask you, who is one of your favorite players in the NFL?
Khalil Mack.
Khalil Mack. Okay.
Hmm.
Now, is who do you model your game after the most?
Ooh, model my game. I'll have to go with my trainer, Robert Mathis. He's just, I train with him, so it's just like everything that he's teaching me, he's used or he's done in his past career.
Okay, that's great to hear, and gave your trainer a shout out. So awesome.
Yeah.
So, so let's talk about meeting Scott Satterfield and
Hmm.
Coach Dennison. So, what was it like meeting Coach Satterfield?
It was crazy. Just I've I've always seen Coach Satterfield on television, like always heard about him and stuff like that. But actually getting to meet him in person was really mind blowing. Uh, taking pictures with him, having conversation with him was just crazy. Um, it was just so like surreal. It was crazy. So I'm excited that I had the opportunity to actually meet him in person.
Well, I'm glad you were able to meet him in person. Now, they say that Coach Satterfield is a very laid back individual. He's very calm. He's one of those people who likes to get to know you. He doesn't really like to talk about football too much. He wants to get to know you as a person. Can you confirm that?
Yes, that's correct. I spent the whole entire weekend with him. He's very, very, very laid back. That is very true. He does like to get to know you as a person. He doesn't really talk football with you unless it's that time. It's the time for it. He knows the time and place to talk about football and go over football things with you. But other than that, he's a family guy. He likes to have the players around his family. He likes to do fun activities, things outside of football. Just to connect better with you. He's very he's very heavy on culture, and so he likes to do things to make the culture stronger. And so yeah, he's very laid back and he rarely talks about football when it's not the time.
Okay, so what does he like to talk about overall? Is it more golf? Is it basketball? Or does he just like to talk about life in general?
Oh, I will say he's a very great he's a very great golfer. Like we went to
Very
this
great
one
golf.
place, it was this food place or whatever, and had it's like Top Golf or whatever. He's very good at that. But he doesn't really talk about golf like that. But and not basketball neither. He talks about just life in general. He talks about He like when you're like, because when I was there, he wanted to get to know about my family. He wanted to get to know hobbies that I have. He wanted to get to know,
Hmm.
things that I do just in general, things that happen in my everyday life. So,
Hmm.
it's really, he tries to get away from sports in general because, as an athlete, that every day, is about sports, 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 sports. And so you have to get your mind off of that every now and again. You have to, open your mind up to new things, different things other than sports, because at the end of the day, football is our job. So we're going to be with it every single day. So he tries to get that off of your mind, try to, um, open up new things and stuff like that. So yeah.
Well, that's great to hear that he wants to
Hmm.
have interpersonal communication and just being able to, you know, step away from football, being able to focus on, different things in life and not just focus on the one thing that you constantly have to go and do.
Hmm.
Now, let's talk about who recruited you, which is Coach Dennison.
Right.
Now, what was the experience meeting him in person for the first time? I know you guys have video chatted, you had phone calls together, but meeting him in person, was it just one of those, like you said, surreal, kind of like how it was with Coach Satterfield?
Um, it wasn't really surreal, but it was just crazy. It was like, dang, coach, we talk every day on FaceTime. We text every single day. And it's just like meeting him in person. It was like everything that how it was when we were on FaceTime. It was just except we were in person. And I'm just very excited to have him as a position coach. I really wouldn't want anybody else but him as my position coach at the next level.
Well, that's great to hear. Now, they say that he's kind of a serious individual, but he does like to joke around. What can you say about his personality wise?
Oh yeah, he's a jokester for sure. He's very funny. He's very, he's me like he's kind of that kind of guy who, he's a jokester, but then when it's time to get serious, it's time to get serious, and it's like a time and a place with him as well. It's like, when to joke with him, but then when he's serious, when to get serious. He's a very hype guy. Like, when it's time to get in that film room and it's time to, get on that field, oh, it's turn up time. It's hype. It's like nonstop energy. So yeah.
Well, that's great to hear. Now, you just recently got a commit just yesterday, and you said that you all have a nickname for him, which is Big Max. Now, what can you say
Mhm.
about Max in general? Have you had the chance to really talk to him, or just have maybe just it could even be a short conversation?
Um, Not really. I'm still getting to know Max. I'm still getting to reach out to Max. I'm gonna start talking to him a lot more today since he just committed yesterday, and I just found out later, like probably around 4 yesterday. I found out. So you know, I let Caleb do most of that. Trying to get reaching out to him and things like that. But I'm gonna do a lot of reaching out to him today.
All right, and that's great to hear that you'll be reaching out today and getting to know him a little bit more.
Hmm.
And so, let me ask you, who would you say is the better recruiter so far in your class? Would you say it's you or Caleb?
Um, Honestly, I don't know. I know that um I do a lot more of the recruiting, so to
Okay.
say. The coaches, talk to me a lot about the recruiting part of it.
Hmm.
I've been talking
Well,
to a ton of people, trying to get them on board. Um, and I'm sure Caleb have too. Caleb's a great recruiter as well. He's doing his part. We kind of talked on our official visit that, I'll let him take the offensive side of the ball. I take the defensive side of the ball. So that's what we're doing right now. So, that's what I'm saying with Big Max. I'm sure Caleb did all of that. I'm not sure, but I'm sure he did because he's on Big Max is a on the O line, so I'm sure Caleb did all that. And shout out to Caleb for that.
yeah, definitely. And shout out to you, Caleb, and good job on getting Max on board.
Hmm.
Now, Popeye, what would you say is one of your goals for this season? Because last season at your school in the 2020, you actually had a total of 65
Hmm.
tackles. What is your new goal for this year?
This year, man, I'm gonna try to get 100 tackles, no
100.
less, no less.
All right. Well, that's pretty awesome. Now,
Hmm.
outside of edge rusher, do you play any other positions?
No, I really don't play any other position. This year is a little talk with the coaches on if I'm gonna play offense between. We have this position called H, which is basically a tight end, and then also running back, which is I'll be a lead blocker, and then also short yardage runner.
Okay. Now, if you did now when coming to Louisville, do you want to try for any of those positions, trying to have kind of a dual athletic uh, position kind of holder, or do you want to focus mainly on edge?
Mainly on edge. I'm an edge rusher. I'm a pass rusher. That's what I do.
Okay, well, that's great to hear. Now, Papa, I really appreciate you coming out and talking to me and telling us a little bit about your visit, telling us about some of the things that are going on with you in recruiting and just you getting to know everybody. And the last thing I'm going to ask is what was one of your most memorable experiences during your visit?
Most memorable experience on my visit was Churchill Downs, just the horse races and stuff like that. Actually seeing my coaches and some of the current players betting on horses and just seeing how excited they were that they were winning money. And just a great atmosphere in general, great experience, meeting new people, things like that. So it was a great experience.
I'm glad you had a great experience. Did you win any? Were you able to bet?
I didn't bet, but my dad bet, and he won a few bucks from it.
You won a few bucks.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, hopefully next year you'll be able to go out there and win a couple.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Pop, I really appreciate you coming out on Cardinal Craze, telling us what's going on with you, and just being able to actually hear and learn a little bit more information about how your visit went, how the recruiting is going on your end of the ball. And Popeye will definitely have you out, hopefully in the future, to be able to talk a little bit more once the class starts to fill up and we get more towards the season.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right. Well, thank you, Popeye. Have a great rest of your evening.
All right, you do the same.
Thank you, sir. Bye.
Bye.